It's probably getting old hearing that my month didn't go to plan, but the good news I come bearing is that a certain game announcement snapped me out of some of my bad habits that should see me go better in the coming months. With my plans to continue through my favorite series, due to its current smartphone nature, I found myself stuck in dailies and events and not doing much more thanks to its sheer amount of content. I did at least squeeze in some console games though, with one of my childhood favorites swinging onto PS5 and a few other JRPGs that embody themes I loved entered my orbit too, so I wouldn't call it a failure of a month, I'm just ready to do better. I'm already playing things this month, so let's not wait and get into the JRPGs I played in August. It might not be a traditional JRPG in any sense, but its questing and game structure feels JRPG enough for me to include it here, especially since my other game of the month would have been Atelier Resleriana for saving my gaming time, and that would have been a cop-out since I haven't played it yet. It was really nice to pick up Tomba as a fan of the series, and was the first limited run games experience I've had that was pretty fun in itself. The night before August 1st, I secured my pre-order and woke up with this thing from my childhood ready to play on PS5, and as someone who played 2 when I was a kid, and has always checked game shops here and there for Tomba at a decent price with little success, to hit X and open it immediately felt kind of surreal. I enjoyed its opening movie, its art gallery feature and menu that set the stage, and then the feeling of running, jumping on evil pigs, and doing quirky quests with quirky characters, including Tomba literally sucking the language out of dwarves' heads. It was my first time with this first entry, but couldn't have been closer to why I love the series, and will definitely be one I plan to jump into and finish, and you bet I'll be picking up too when it comes out as well. I would love to hear anyone else's experience with the Tomba games, if you picked up this re-release, and any of your limited run game experiences, as I'm so happy they could bring one of the games I've been longing to replay and that helped me get into video games. You might notice an absence in all the other games that are part of the staples I play, and that's because I spent most of August stuck in what's called a res hole. If you've kept up with the last few JRPGs I played entries, you'll know that my more recent plan has been to catch up on Atelier Resleriana's story, which seemed doable since I'm already halfway into the story on both servers, and each chapter only takes a few hours. Let's just say, as an example, my English Steam account tells me I put 25 hours into Resleriana over the last 2 weeks, and as a good example as that was after my boyfriend and I had family over for a bit. A couple of weeks ago, I got back to my PC again after that, and I can tell you those 25 hours were only spent doing dailies, events, and optional quests where I was maybe about to get to some main story, and this has been a big problem for a lot of my res time, as I've often been putting a lot of time in, but in the core game getting not a lot out of it. And this might come as a surprise, as I have plenty of positive feelings about Resleriana too. I genuinely love getting to spend time with all the characters from the series as a great reward for all the time I've put into it, like how I enjoyed seeing Ryza and Claudia together again in the summer event or Res Academy, so I would still say I like this game. But once Atelier Resleriana was announced, I had this feeling where I didn't want to find myself desperately trying to smash out all my dailies and then play Resleriana when it comes out, as it would mean I treat both of them badly, as there are only so many hours in the day. So in the last couple of days of August, I basically decided to quit putting any dedicated focus on my res dailies, with the only time I do them now being like other smartphone games, which is at my work desk between tasks, and I can already tell you it's given me back hours in my day that has been super freeing. I think I did pretty well lasting as long as I did on the dailies train, almost a full year, as I was always determined to play res as much like the console Atelier player I am, but I do think smartphone games can be kind of toxic for that type of player, as they always have new side content and really will vie for all of your time if you let them. Going into September, I'm happy to have a healthier relationship with res and put more of my overall focus back onto console games, as it really is more fulfilling, and for res itself, I'm also enjoying the better habit of when I do play, it's do story and only story that means I actually get to see it. So I hope to report back with better things next month, and I'm glad Resleriana could help me have the realization I think I needed. As for my other staples like Trails to Azure, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, etc., I hope to have more to say about them this month with hours of my day freed up. I'm also hoping to keep in mind how I want want to handle my gaming time as a whole going forward, as I find myself frequently wanting to add more things to my staples because I love a lot of series and finding new things, but also like finishing things. So I'm considering an approach in September where I just switch on my consoles each day and see what speaks to me rather than having set things I play each and every play session. This shouldn't see things change too much for my monthly play since I'm invested in certain series like the two I mentioned that will see me continue through them anyway. Rather, it'll probably mean when I'm sent games I'm excited about, I can play while I'm still enjoying them through the honeymoon period and either finish them or let them fall out of my playtime naturally. So I hope this thinking makes me a little more of a discerning player going forward, and again, that'll be something I hope to come back with good news about next month. I wonder if any of you guys have any stories about a smartphone game having to be put by the wayside as it was affecting your other playtime. If you do, I'd love to hear them, and I hope to share my positive experiences soon, with the fact I got a video out about Direct being a pretty good first step, as I think my content output on here definitely suffered too. I hope to share lots of things soon, including talking about the next two things I played last month. As I said, my gaming time loosened at the end of the month, finally giving me a minute to jump into a game I'd been lucky enough to receive. I've been interested in Rear Sekai since it was announced, especially when I saw more of it shown at Bushiroad Games' festival last year, with the fact it's by Rune Factory's creator En Hakama and how it planned to juggle a strange fantasy cross-school life premise. Trying that gameplay this month in its English version, Elrentaros Wanderings, it definitely appeared to that Rune Factory fan in me, so much so that I'd be more than happy to keep playing. It's almost like Rune Factory with less farming from what I've seen, with the town your tent is in full of locals to interact with and romance down the line, but the moving time element is removed to make way for weird things happening while you sleep, with the first being the jump into another world that has all the same characters but as high school students. I really like its premise, and in action, I enjoyed its dungeons too, as it felt quick and responsive to run around with my little chibi character, and I enjoyed hacking and slashing and collecting treasure to help make friends on the way. It's out now for anyone who's interested, and I'm curious if anyone else tried it, and hope to keep it somewhere in my playtime as I love to see where its fun premise goes. Another must-try in August for me was Kamitsubaki City Ensemble once I found out it was dropping in August. It's the latest game the creator of Crysa and Cry Machina's Fuyuki Hayashi is involved in, and I've decided to follow his work, so I absolutely had to play it. Also of interest to me was one of its singers, Kafu, who sang the amazing opening to Monarch, so with music and story together, I was pleased that this story rhythm game let both parts shine well. The story moments echo Hayashi's style, with ideas of music and singing connecting to the soul, reflecting many things I believe about music too. The vibes of the destroyed city feel very Furyu, and I'm looking forward to putting more things in it, as each song you play helps restore the city, and it's easy to do with a great group of them. I will say I'm not as in love with any of the songs as I am the ones from its trailers, but I still have plenty more to unlock, so as a fan of a few of the Vocaloid composers on there, it'll be fun to hear more. A final point to mention was I ended up playing this on smartphone, although it is available on Switch as well, I just forgot. But I would like to see what the button mapping is like on there, or if it's all touch, so I'll have to look into it. I should mention that I did pay about $4 for it, which I found a bit strange as someone who plays a bunch of other rhythm games with stories for free with optional paid content, which City Ensemble also has. I didn't mind paying, as it's basically buying a coffee to support one of my favorite creators though, but I thought this was worth mentioning in case anyone was expecting it to be free to play. I hope to stick with it in some way to explore whatever its story has to offer in its upcoming months while we wait for Fuyuki Hayashi's next JRPG offering, and I hope other fans of Hayashi's work and Kamitsubaki enjoy this too. A final thing to mention is I did jump back into Void Terrarium just a little recently, as surprise surprise, I did a collab with another creator for the first time in years. I got to talk about Robbie and Taruko's fun games in Hallowed Be Thy Games' latest Switch Hidden Gems video, and made sure to spend some time with Void again to make sure it was what I wanted to talk about, which it definitely was. One thing I love about Void Terrarium and roguelikes is how easy it is to jump back in after a while too, as I was easily able to get back into throwing bombs, decimating monster houses, all in the name of feeding Taruko a high-protein cockroach diet, and since my Switch version is in Japanese, it's a good reminder that this could be another smaller, fun game to go back for to study and play, although maybe another time as I definitely have enough going on. Feel free to check out the collab for more of why I think it's a great game on Switch, and also to hear the other creators featured who had some great picks too. I'm always glad for any opportunity I get to tell anyone about the wonderful story of Robbie helping Taruko in that heartwarming and lonely world, and would love to hear if any of you guys have tried it recently too. too. I've talked about in this video changing my habits, and hopefully the success of these changes has showed in the video being up sooner, which would give me even more time in the month to play with. I'm still determined to conquer Rez's story. Even if they have a bunch more scheduled main story coming this month, I feel like I can do it if I keep focused each and every play session like I have been, and I still have in the back of my mind I want to make a video on it. Then I want to get to finishing episode Yuffie and Trails to Azure to clear my plate up for getting back to new game reviews, just like I said I wanted to last month. It does mean I will be subjecting myself to a bit of FOMO again, as there are September releases I'm definitely interested in. I still haven't gotten to Persona 3 Reload yet, and was hoping It's the Answer DLC would be a good excuse to jump in on the 10th. Similarly, Final Fantasy 16 will also get its PC Deliverance version on the 17th, and that's also something I still want to play in full. Reynatis is coming on the 27th, and I'd love to see its World Ends With You content, and Japan's even getting Death End Request Zion and Trails to the World that I would more than love to dip my toes into. If these games cross my path in any way, I will absolutely take at least a small look at them in some way, but if they don't, it means more time for cleaning up my gaming time, and I have to remind myself they're not going anywhere. I can just come back later, and it's probably something I should get used to, as a lot of things really just come out all at once these days, don't they? My sentiment for the month is just to do my best with more mindful management of my gaming time, and I hope it can give me some confidence that I'll enjoy Atelier Yumiya to the fullest when it comes out next year, as that's really what I'm going to be thinking about in the back of my mind until it's out. As usual, in the meantime, I hope you're having fun playing things you like and not letting the pressure of content releases and service game events mess with your gaming time in any way, as we all hopefully just continue to have fun in a sea of many things to play. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played in August and what you plan to play this month. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below. Thank you to Red Art Games for the code, and until next time, thank you, bye!